Hey y'all, I'm Tammy, and this is Collard Valley Cooks, where we cook like our mamas did. Today we're making a banana split cake, and we got it out of this craft cookbook back in the day when everybody made stuff with Cool Whip, pudding, and Philadelphia cream cheese. And this has got it all in there. So let's get started. Okay, I know a lot of y'all have had this before. It makes a 13 by 9 pan, the regular recipe does, but today I'm gonna make it in half so that me and Chris don't have a huge cake to eat, okay? But it's one of my very favorites. There's nothing better than a good old banana split cake. All right, we're gonna start with our graham crackers, and you're gonna put them in some butter with a little sugar. So I'm gonna put in about an 1/8 cup of sugar because I'm halving this recipe. I got about a 1/4 cup of butter melted in there. And then we're going to be using 3/4 cups of the graham crackers. And I think I could be safe and use a cup and it'd be fine because I like the graham crackers myself. So I'm going to use a cup of graham crackers. And I'll just put the full recipe on here for y'all. Because most of y'all, if y'all are going to bother making it, are going to make it for more than just 2 of you. So you're just going to mix that in with that butter good. And you're going to put it in the bottom of your dish. And I'm using a brownie pan. And you would be using a 13 by 9 pan to make a whole one. Now I'm just going to smash them down in there. Best way to do it is with your hands. Just like that. All right, it says to freeze this for 10 minutes. So I'm going to put this in the freezer while we're mixing up the rest of our stuff. All right. So that's your bottom layer of your cake. Now the second thing you're going to do, so you're going to mix your pudding with your milk. Just like that. This is Baker's Corner. This is from Aldi. You can buy the stored brand of pudding or the Jell-O brand of pudding, whichever one you prefer. And now we're going to whisk this in this milk good. And it's going to set up pretty quick. And so all we're going to do is whisk this milk in there good. Just like that. Okay? And you're going to let this sit right here for a minute. And then we're going to fold in some Cool Whip. But for now, that's all that needs to do. Now you're going to take your cream cheese and you're going to add sugar to your cream cheese. And you're going to mix it. And it should be softened at room temperature. That's easy. That's a layer, and it's ready. So when this comes out of the freezer in 10 minutes, you're going to have everything ready to go in it. Now what we're going to do is take some pineapple. We're going to drain our pineapple. Just like that. So just take a little strainer like this. You can get a pack of strainers for nearly nothing. And just take a spatula and press it good. Just like that. So now we've got our pineapple ready. We've got our cream cheese ready. And all we're going to do is fold some Cool Whip into our pudding. Now it has set, so you can tell it's already set. So we're going to take some Cool Whip and fold it into the pudding. And then this layer will be ready. And then we're going to grab that out of the freezer and put it together. We're just going to use some bananas. There's our pudding recipe. All right, so there's our pudding. So nothing has to be baked, which is easy. You're going to put your cream cheese mixture on first. And I guess they freeze this slightly so that you can spread it easier. I think that's the only reason you have to put it in the freezer. And it will make it easier to spread. Already looks good. This is one of my favorites. I love any kind of pudding dessert, and my mama did too. And of course, this is one of those old-timey Jell-O recipes that everybody used to make and take to church. All right, now we're going to take our pineapple, and we're going to put it on top of the cream cheese. I'm going to have to do this with my hands, or it's just going to be a mess. And then you're going to put your bananas in with your pineapple. Now you can decide how many bananas you want to use in your dessert. You can slice them thin or thick, however you want to do it. But I would suggest, if you're making this for church or company, to make this the day you're going to serve it so that your bananas stay pretty, okay? You don't want to make it ahead of time and leave it in the refrigerator and pull it out and your bananas be dark. And you're going to want to use ripe bananas as well. And see, I think that's enough. I think you just need enough to cover the bottom. So I left a little bit of that banana in here. I'm going to get it. So just put enough bananas to cover the pineapple and cream cheese. Just like that. Don't that look good? Now you're going to put your pudding on it. And I will say this pudding doesn't look quite as creamy as the Jell-O brand, but that's all right. We'll forgive them. All right, there's your pudding. And last but not least, you're going to use the rest of your Cool Whip. Put it on the top. Like this. And then we're going to swirl our syrup on top of this. Let me show you what we're going to do. Now you can decorate this with whatever you want to decorate it with. You can use maraschino cherries. You can use strawberries. You could use chocolate chips, Hershey's syrup. But I'm going to take hot fudge and I'm going to drizzle it on top. This is hot fudge and it's at room temperature and it's got a really big pour spout on the top, which is not what I want to use. So I'm actually going to take it I'm going to put a little bit of it in some parchment. I'm going to make a parchment bag. And of course, you don't have to do this. You could just drizzle it on there if you want to. But I don't want it to be that fat when I put it on the cake. And it's not going to take a whole lot to decorate the top of the cake with. So we're just going to do like this. Just like that. And then I'm going to take my little spatula and I'm going to run it this way. And then turn it around and run it this way. And these are jumbo cherries, so I'm going to dry them just a little bit. I'm going to use 2 of them at least. And I'm going to dry them a little bit because I don't want them to leak all over my pretty cake. These are jumbos, so I'm going to use quarter at a time. Actually, I thirded that one. Two more. And you can also garnish it with a few bananas right before you serve it. So let me show you how that looks. And then we're going to dig in. Okay? So right before you serve it, slice a banana. And you do this right before because the banana will brown at room temperature. And y'all, if you don't have Cool Whip where you live and you want to use whipping cream, you can do that with this dessert. Okay? But it should be sweetened. And then you can tell if you wanted to sprinkle nuts on it, it would look like a sundae banana split. Because that's what it's called, banana split cake. Now, this is called a banana split cake, but it's really a dessert. But you cut it like a cake, all right? So I'm sure the first piece might be a little hard to cut out of there, but we're going to try. How's that look? But you do cut it. This is not a cake, but you cut it like a cake. You're just going to want to refrigerate yours, of course, before you cut it. I have not, and it would cut a lot easier. Now I'm going to turn this around so I can get up under it. And there we have it, a delicious banana split cake. Okay, this would have been one of my mom's favorites. It's got all the good stuff in it. Pineapple, cream cheese, and bananas. When I was a little girl, when I went to church, if somebody brought this to a function, I went over there and got me a piece before it got gone. I love it. Y'all have a wonderful day. We thank you so much for watching Collard Valley Cooks, where we cook like Mama did. Bye, y'all. Love ya.
Cooking time, it's over now. Tammy, she just showed you how to cook it up like Mama used to do. So go on out and have some fun. Now you're getting dinner done with collard Valley cooks